All right, well, this is such a fantastic episode. I cannot wait to share it with you. Today, I'm going to be talking about possibility. Garbage in, garbage out, baby. Providing a clearing for your possibilities to exist. And I'm also going to be giving you an update for the 15-day challenge that I'm doing called the 15 Amazing Day Independence Challenge Day 4 update. And that is coming right now. Episode number 9. We'll be right back after this short break to hear from our sponsors. Democracy works. Voting isn't just going to the polls on election day anymore. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop box are available to most voters and are growing in popularity. So how do you vote? A tool created by Democracy Works breaks down the options your state offers for casting a ballot, empowering you to decide when and where to vote. Democracy works best when all of us vote, but misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in low voter turnout. So how do you vote? We'll use a tool created by Democracy Works and take the guesswork out of the voting process. Decide when and where you'll vote this year and go to howto.vote. That's howto.vote. And now, back to our episode. Welcome to the Blueprint of Living an Extraordinary Life podcast. My name is Theo Tilton. I'm a licensed New Thought practitioner, public speaker, certified life mastery consultant, and development life coach. Each week, I'm on a mission to provide concrete practices in the art of being and doing and getting that physical, reliable result with a system of support, leaving you moved, inspired, and empowered on your way to living an extraordinary life. Thank you for spending time with me today. Now let's head over to the Blueprint of Living an Extraordinary Life. Possibilities everywhere. Oh my gosh. So much confusion around possibilities. When you hear the word possibilities or possibility, or there is endless possibilities, or anything is possible. What does this all really mean? A lot of times, for those of us who came from corporate America or work in some type of corporate job or work in offices, or whether it's information technology or legal or fitness, it doesn't matter what the field is. When you hear the word possibility, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You probably start to think of an alternate way of things happening. So here is one possibility. Well, and if this other thing changes, well, then there's another possibility. But if this happens, then we might be forced into this other possibility. Really, there's so many possibilities. Well, today I'm going to be talking about possibility as a way of being and how garbage in equals garbage out when it comes to possibility creating. What do I mean by garbage in, garbage out? So there is lots of stuff congested in your head. Lots and lots and lots of stuff that's there. The day, the week, the month, last year, relationship issues, financial issues, all kinds of things are congesting the mind. And without us really knowing or understanding what's happening, we begin to tell ourselves little tiny stories about all these little things that add up into a much larger story about our life. So if things are difficult right now and you're having trouble with your job or making ends meet or you're working paycheck to paycheck, there is a certain story that has been generated, and it has all of the evidence in the world for that story to really be true. Meaning, hey, I can't pay my bills on time, I'm not making enough money, and so therefore I must be poor. Or therefore I need a better job. Or therefore I need to work 2 jobs or 3 jobs. These are all the top possibilities. Now here's the thing is that these possibilities that come from a lack level consciousness will start generating story will start generating not from a place of possibility. It actually starts generating from a place of garbage. Here's what I want you to really get for yourself. This is the most important thing. This is the most important takeaway. If you don't get anything, try to get this. When we live our lives every single day in a certain way, there is a certain reality that we experience. And inside of that reality, we can experience ourselves as being a dreamer, a daydreamer, wanting things to be a different way, having a certain level of longing or discontent in our life. And then we keep doing that, and eventually nothing changes. Let's say over time nothing really changes, or things change really slowly. What ends up happening is you begin to get numb. This happens to every one of us in different aspects, in different ways. And this is part of the human experience. We become numb. We become numb to the lives that we're living. We become numb to the fact that the possibilities that we're trying to generate really haven't happened, or they're not moving fast enough, or it happens a certain way. This is just the way life is. And so in that numbness, we actually get really comfortable. It's actually really comfortable for us to be standing in garbage. And so when we come up with any other type of possibility in our life, it's coming from a place where we are standing in the garbage or the sewer of our mind or of our life. So all of the possibility that we could possibly come up with has a baseline of garbage. So what do we do? It seems like a trap, right? And it is a trap. So how do you get out of the trap? Well, you have to clear away the garbage. You have to clear away the garbage in order for true possibility to exist and manifest. So what does that look like? Well, first of all, clearing the garbage requires something. It actually requires us to do some work. So it actually requires us
to acknowledge the way things are. It requires us to acknowledge who we've been being in the world and that we've become numb. It requires us to acknowledge that we must love a little bit, to some degree, where we are standing in garbage. Now, I know that this topic is got to be pressing someone's buttons. I know, because I remember hearing this for the first time, and boy, did it press some of my buttons. And here, this is not a child's conversation. This is a very adult conversation, and it requires us to take on and put the hat of responsibility on. If you do not currently like the situation that you are currently living in, you absolutely 100% have the power to transform it and change it. But it requires you to acknowledge where you are in the first place, and it requires you to stand in a position of knowing that you may be responsible for creating the garbage that you're standing in. Now, once that is acknowledged, we then ask ourselves, can I be okay with that? Am I okay that I created this? Am I okay that this is the way that it is right now? Am I okay that my life is falling apart? Am I okay that my finances are in the shitter? Am I okay? Like, being okay with where it is currently at. So getting ourselves to a place of responsibility, knowing that this is something that we potentially have created, and even if we don't think we did create it, taking your power back and saying, even if I think I didn't create it, I'm going to take responsibility as though I did create it. So that restores all of your power. Acknowledging where you are currently and what the impact on your life has been. You know, this is my, if I left my job a year and a half ago, right? And for a huge majority of the first part of the year, I was just enjoying myself and not worrying about, my business, starting up my business and everything. And things started to get really grim. And so it was really a matter of me taking responsibility, like, wow, I was numb to the fact that I received a nice, healthy package from a great career that I left after 18 and a half years, that I was being complacent and I was standing in the garbage in creating my business. And so taking responsibility for standing in the garbage, taking responsibility for being numb, taking responsibility for all that, and then simply acknowledging it and being okay that that is what has happened. As soon as we do this, it begins to free up something. It frees up all of your energy. It frees up so you can start to tell yourself a brand new story. Because guess what? Possibilities are stories. We've been telling ourselves stories anyway, by default. Like, oh, I'm not going to make it. Oh my gosh, I might have to get a new job. Oh, I might have to get 2 jobs. I might have to get 3 jobs. You're telling yourself a story anyway by default, right? So possibility exists by you being able to generate and create anything and everything, anything that you would want to create. A reality based in something simply because you created it. Simply because you said so. Simply because you said so. That's it. That's what possibility is. And then we stand in that possibility. Who would I need to be in order for that thing to come true? Who would I need to be? How would I need to be operating if I have a brand new business and I have 25 new clients and I'm making X six-figure income per year, and I'm healthy, and I bought my mother a brand new house, and I bought myself a brand new car, and so these are all the different possibilities that we're creating, right? Well, that I'm creating. So who do I need to be in order for all of that to happen? That's the question. Who do I need to be? So I invite you to look at an area of your life where you may think that you're standing in garbage. Acknowledge that you're standing in the garbage. Acknowledge that you created it. Acknowledge and take responsibility for having created it. And also take responsibility for something new to happen. As soon as we do this, you can create anything. You can create anything coming from nothing. So when we come from nothing, when we take responsibility, when we acknowledge where we are at, we get to a place, it's like as if we are erasing the chalkboard of life. Imagine that there is a chalkboard and it's got your entire life written on it. And you think that your future is going to be a certain way because you've been telling yourself this story over and over and over again. And this chalkboard is filled with the story of your life and how things are going to happen. As soon as you take responsibility, as soon as you acknowledge where you are and how you got there, that it indeed was you that got you there. Like I said, this is an adult conversation. This is not a child conversation. This is an adult conversation. Requires to pull up our big girl pants or our big boy pants and really take on what I'm trying to say here. This is not for the timid or, the lighthearted. This is serious work. So we take this on, life will shift. Life will completely change. When we take responsibility and acknowledge where things are and that the acknowledgement of that happening because that's what we created, it frees up a whole spectrum of your life. All of the power that you have been giving over to all of the other stories inside of your numbness and inside of your garbage, all of that power is now going to be redirected into the brand new story that you get to create. The brand new thing that you want. I am going to have a successful business with 100 clients making a mid six-figure income, and I am looking at a house that I'm purchasing for my mother, to give my mother a house as a gift for having raised such an amazing son. Like, that's a powerful story to say, right? And the current job that I'm in leads me to new opportunities, even bigger and better opportunities. And I am acknowledged for my worth, and I get treated and valued, and I get a raise. I now have a raise. So we start speaking in language, right, of a future that this is already done. A future that's already done. And then the big question to answer. This is the thing to contemplate here. what is that person doing? That person in the future that has this possibility present. What is that person doing? What is that person wearing? What is that person eating? What is that person reading at night? What time does that person go to bed? What time does that person wake up? What activities is how is that person shopping? How is that person interacting with other people? How is that person interacting with family and friends and coworkers? You begin to formulate this beingness around this possibility and who this person is out in the future that you've just created. And then you start implementing that being. You start interacting with people the way that person would interact with people. You start waking up when that person would wake up. You start going to bed when that person would go to bed. You start eating the foods that person would be eating. You start wearing the clothes that person would be wearing. You begin to implement that beingness that you've just created, and your life will completely transform, and you will become the brand new story of your life. So that is possibility. And so if we flip this around and say, no, it's not about garbage in, garbage out. What kind of wholesome and nutritious and healthy and vital and abundant future are you creating for yourself, knowing that the more abundant it goes in, the more abundant it comes out? So that's it. Now I'm going to be giving you an update on day number 4 of the 15-day challenge, the 15 amazing day independence challenge. So today was day 4, quite amazing. Again, having problems with the jump rope, breaking it down into 2-minute intervals. My calves are on fire. I'm having to massage my calves every night before I go to sleep now. The no alcohol, no starch, no sugar, that's going very well. As of this morning, there is no update as far as weight loss or fat loss. However, I am confident over the next day or two, we're going to see a huge shift, probably 3 to 5 pounds. Boom, it's going to happen like overnight. I already see that happening. And I've included a brand new element. I've included journaling. So now I'm going to be journaling my journey over the next remaining number of whatever it is, 11 days and 10 days. And I'm going to give you some updates, some more additional updates. So where are you? Have you implemented a challenge for yourself? If you did, I want you to send me a comment or send me some feedback. Let me know how you're doing on your challenge. What are some of the things that you decided? Was it health, nutrition? Is it love and relationships? Was it related to finances and saving money or generating a new business? What challenge did you implement and how long are you doing it? Mine is ending, the last day is July 3rd. And so on July 4th, I'm going to celebrate. I am going to have definitely an alcoholic drink and probably going to be attending a barbecue of some sort. So I will be celebrating at the end. My intention is to be down to below 222 pounds and be 4 to 5% less body fat than I'm currently at in the next 10 days. So I'm looking forward to giving you a miraculous update tomorrow or the day after. This is it. Signing off for the night. Talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for joining me and listening to today's episode. I trust that there is something that you experienced on today's podcast that has left you touched, moved, and inspired. I would love to connect with you. If you're an Anchor member, you can leave me a message and leave any kind of question that I can answer on future podcasts. If you'd like to hear more about Life Mastery, Dream Builder, or other personal development programs that I coach with my clients, you can email me directly at theo@theotilton.com. And you can find me on all social media channels, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. My handle is Theo Tilton. Also, you can find me on Facebook at Theo Tilton Coaching. Thank you.